So this is first part of continue. The first video I post 1 to 3. Now this gonna be 4, 5 and 6 about first father. So tune in and learn the truth, the knowledge of what we all should know that they never told us. So let me start.
And when they saw it, they were amazed. And when they saw it, they were amazed. When they saw the airplanes and the flying vehicles, which could quarry rock 2,000 miles away and have them lifted, cut, and measured within minutes, they were astonished. However, when the pyramid building was complete and all of the construction processes ceased, these sons of God gave an order to the Egyptians and to all the indigenous peoples. And they said to these peoples and the writers who write, "Do not speak of how this was done. Write in your books that the pyramids were created using rope, logs, and wooden mallets." And as the writers of each nation began to write, they, like the Egyptians, balked at the sons of God and their instructions. They rumbled against them and did whisper behind them for the writing of a story that everyone knew was untrue. They said to these kings, "Why do we write this? It is not truth. And if we write these things, it will deceive the entire world." These who were new to this earth did not know that in the beginning of every new earth, knowledge of the previous earth and how it ended is forbidden. And in the ancient days, any word spoken of technology was punishable by death. Therefore, after every pyramid was completed, the sons of God would leave that nation, and they would leave that nation with one rule and one warning. They would say to every Egyptian and every native peoples on the earth for whom they have built, they would say, "These works are not to be spoken of, and these things are never to be written. You shall obey these words, and you will make no graven image of our likeness or our features. You will make no graven image of anything that you have seen flying in the heavens. You will make no graven image of anything that is in our hands or that is in the heavens." These words may sound harsh to our world, but there is deep pain in each of them. For every nation that these kings built, they would leave an image or likeness of themselves and of their glory. And yet, in every nation and in every stone that carried their appearance, they found that people didn't like their appearance. Every stone creation that revealed their race was then vandalized or deliberately destroyed. Human beings have not changed, and no matter how great their works, and no matter how many gifts they have given to mankind, we always turn on them. We chisel out their names and put our own. We spit in their eyes and bludgeon their faces. For every image that carries their likeness, we despise it. We urinate on it. They build our nations and clothe our minds with knowledge, wisdom, faith, and God. And after they've done all this, we break their noses and we kill the greatest gift they ever gave us: a clean, healthy earth. A living earth. here, the reason we are all alive. And we know not that it is because of them. But a day comes on the horizon, a day for the end of earth. And in that day, we will curse our hatred for these men. Because in the end, when all is lost, war comes. And these men return. Orion returns. And they return to this earth for one purpose: to fight for us. The crop circles that are appearing all over the world are appearing with one message: war is coming. A war like we've never seen before. An extinction-level event. We only have one way out: the stars. Each crop circle is leading us to understand where we come from and where we are going. And sadly, it tells us something else that is more powerful than anything you will ever understand. These crop circles are telling us the purpose of life, the purpose of the earth, and how it all ends. The crop circle is created to lead us to understanding our past and also to prepare. But there is one crop circle whose knowledge is so terrible that even while speaking, tears are falling from my eyes. Crop circle, and it appeared in the UK, and for a very... And the reason is, its roots are European. This intricately designed crop circle carries a burden that is greater than the burden of any god. For to understand it brings one's heart to burst with tears. This is the Pyramid of Egypt, the Stargate, and yet it is full of a certain type of plant. The Stargate and the plant are linked together, but for what reason? Why would a plant need to enter into a Stargate? This crop circle also shows us the exact same thing. And if it looks to be alien, it is. At its center is a plant. And what this means is that we are looking for a relic or artifact that reflects a line of plants. It would be impossible to understand this message by a search of plants alone, and so it is the other peripheral objects which create and isolate this message. Surrounding this plant is what appears to be letters. Letters of a strange language, a language that is no longer spoken on this earth. As confusing as this may be, there is an answer, because only one relic of note fits this description, and it is called the Voynich Manuscript. It is over 600 years old, and it is one of the greatest mysteries on this earth. It is a book of plants and stars, and it is written in a language that we cannot decipher, for it is a language that no longer exists. Linguists and epigraphers have been studying it for centuries, and with very little success. A European linguist named Stephen Bax has unlocked a small number of names in this botanical epic. Names like juniper, coriander, centaurea, and the word Taurus. These names are simply the names of plants, with the exception of Taurus. It is actually the name of a constellation. After 600 years of study, to this date, we have only locked the meaning of 10 words. The reason we are unable to unlock this codex is because we are thinking like a human. The book has stars and plants and drawings of mostly females in very odd situations and descriptions. After 600 years, this is where our knowledge runs dry. And sadly, none of this gets us any closer to understanding its message. That is, until now. Each page of this codex is written in a language that no longer exists. It has several drawings of plants and several drawings of stars. The codex cannot be unlocked because we are thinking like humans. We are human beings who are reading an alien message, and in order to understand an alien message, one must think like an alien. But remember, an alien language is the universal language. And the universal language is star constellations. To understand this book, all one has to know is the book is literally a Rosetta Stone, as each plant and each star and each drawing are all saying the exact same thing. It is truly nothing more than one message repeated in 3 different languages. The plants are botanical, a language. Star constellations, another language. And with pictogram or drawing as the last language. Although there are several pages of each, they are all saying the exact same thing, but in 3 different languages. A tree is botanical, and it is also human, and it is also a star constellation. A plant that is named Taurus is also written as Taurus, the constellation. A plant that resembles Venus flytrap is made to signify Venus, the planet. Each plant has a cognate in each of these languages, so where we lack knowledge in one of these languages, the other languages will help us understand it. It is equivalent to reading a story in English, and if we don't truly understand English, there is a picture to help us. If we don't understand the picture, there is a constellation of stars that is drawn. And even if we don't understand it, there is a diagram and a graph. All of this means in order to understand it, you only have to understand one of them. Moreover, if you have familiarity with all of these languages, then deciphering it is much easier. The reason the crop circles are leading us to this book is because this book contains the knowledge of the end of mankind, and the end of the earth. Although the religious believe the end of the world to be one of demons, Christs, horsemen, and angels, it is not. The reason we know it is not is because we have records dating back more than 60,000 years, and each of them telling us what happens at the end of the earth. And it ends the same every single time. When we unravel this mystery, we must then confront a horrible reality. The reality of what to do. These pictures show a tree, and it's not just any tree. It is a tree that we have ignored for over 1,000 years. It is the tree of life, the birthplace of human beings. How do we know that it is the tree of life? Look at its roots. They are strange, and they look like a human hand. That is because it is a human tree, and this tree and this Voynich manuscript are speaking the same language. However, what is different about this tree is the fact that the roots are carnivorous. It is a plant, a tree, that eats flesh. The book shows the birth of life and the purpose of life. And with great sadness, it also shows the end of it. We couldn't unlock its knowledge because
peace and love. So that's it for 4, 5, and 6. So the next video will be 7, 8, and 9. So peace and love to everyone.